Okay, welcome back. So today we're going to do a little Buddy the Cake Boss, and we are going to talk about if we were given this wedding cake, and it's probably not one you'd buy if you're really doing a wedding, but if we were going to ice this cake. So a couple things that you have to think of here, and you have to really read the question, okay? We're going to frost these cakes, so we know for sure that there will be no frosting on the bottom of the small cake, but also the spot where it sits on the big cake. So the overlap here is going to be two circles. And we also know that we don't usually ice the bottom of a cake. No icing. Okay, so those are just a couple of things that you have to just think about and be prepared for. So let's start. Remember, I always label these piece A or piece B. So we're going to start with piece A. Okay, circle or cylinder A. And so I always start by writing down the entire formula, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. And now I'm going to think to myself, I get rid of my overlap immediately. So what's the overlap for this one? 2 circles. So I'm going to eliminate that part of the formula. And this is like, I don't know, let's call it the curved side. So that's all I have to worry about now. 2, and I use 3.14 because I'm old, times 7 times 5. Now let's stop here for a minute. Where did I get the number 7? Let's go back here. People might say to me, well, Mrs. Rosso, it says 14. But remember, we talked about this. That's the diameter, and the formula uses radius. So you have to have a little background knowledge here. Half of the diameter is the radius, so we would divide that by 2 and get 7. That's where I got the 7 from. So feel free to pick up a calculator to help you out. 2 times 3.14 times 7 times 5, and I got approximately 219 and 8/10 of a centimeter squared. And I'm going to circle that because I'm going to do total surface area. Now I'm going to do part B. Part B is the bottom layer cake. Okay, same formula. It's a cylinder shape plus 2 pi RH. And now I have to remember, I am not going to ice the bottom of the cake, but I am going to ice the top of the cake, and the overlap's already been taken care of in the first part. So how am I going to manipulate this formula? I'm going to cross off the 2. I'm only going to do 1 circle in the bottom. So pi, and the radius again, let's talk about this. We've been given the measurement 26, but we know that that's the diameter, so we have to cut that in 2 and get 13 centimeters for the radius. So 13 squared plus 2 times 3 and 14/100ths times 13 times, and then the height of this bottom cake is the same as the top one, 5. Okay, so when we do the math here, 13 squared times pi, I got approximately 530 and 7/10 of a centimeter. And then here, 2 times pi times 13 times 5, I got 408 and 2/10 of a centimeter squared. Okay, clearly we're going to add all of these together to get total surface area. And when we do that, I got 1,158 7/10 of a centimeter squared, and that is my total surface area. Okay, so that's cylinders piled on top of each other. I'm going to shut this down, and I am going to show you another composite object made up of different shapes. All right, stay tuned.